There are so many reasons why, but sleep and not having a safe place to sleep should not be one of those reasons. Like, you should have a safe place to sleep and grow.
For
Just,
sure.
that's basic necessity. So, okay, we need to do that. And then, so we started this chapter, we did the training, and ever since then, we've been delivering beds to kids in the area who don't have one. And really, that is what I love about Sleep in Heavenly Peace, is that our mission is that no kid sleeps on the floor in our town, and our town is your town.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Phil. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for joining Keys to the Community podcast.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. This is my first podcast appearance, I guess.
Wow.
So
Well,
it's
great.
fun.
We'll have to have you on more often.
Hey, anytime.
Yeah. Before we get started, I just want to thank my sponsors, Lighthouse Title, Independent Bank, and Coop Burr Insurance. Without them, we couldn't put this podcast on. So thank them. So Lisa, give us background. Who is Lisa? What does Lisa do?
Oh, we'll be here all day, Phil, with that one question. I'll give you the synopsis. So I live here in Holland. I am a licensed real estate appraiser. I have done that for about 10 years. That has led to some new adventures for me, which I'm excited about. And I'm the chapter president of a nonprofit here in Holland called Sleep in Heavenly Peace, where we build beds and deliver those to kids in the area. And also now the executive director of the Zeeland Education Foundation.
So you have no spare time.
Well, I've got two tween kids, and no, you're right. I know.
Yeah.
I do a lot of driving, a lot of phone calls in the car, as
Yeah.
I'm sure every realtor is very familiar with.
Right.
That's where a lot of business happens, is right out of the car.
Absolutely. So tell me more about the Zeeland Education Foundation.
So the Zeeland Education Foundation is an organization that really supports the Zeeland Public School District with their growth, with innovative materials. So we raise funds throughout the year to then, like playing Santa Claus in May, I get to deliver really big checks to teachers who have applied for grants for non-consumable materials for their classroom. So things like 3D printers or VR headsets or podcasting equipment. A couple of teachers requested that a few years ago, to compasses or binoculars, pickleball paddles. So things that aren't covered in the curriculum budget, but the teachers are like, oh, we would really like to do this. We would like to support our students with these items. And thankfully, I am able to help support, or the foundation is able to support with grants to teachers. There are other things that are happening now. As we grow, we have different endowment funds that are very specific to different things within the district. So we have a fund that helps with music lessons for kids from Cityside, to the Brooke Lewis Never Give Up Fund, which is a fund that helps support students trying something that they think might be impossible, but they'd like to try it. So we're able to provide funds for that. To the Heather Jacob Scott communication retreat for the high school students. And then just other activities around that I like to dip into. So that's the big picture of what we do. And what we've really tried to do this year, or what we're doing this year, is they've extended my position to include me as a community engagement coordinator for the district. So I just left a meeting with David Klein's. He has a new class at Zeeland West. It's a leadership class. So his students are learning about what does it take to be a leader, different character traits, how to communicate. And they're just starting. It's a semester-long class, but we bring in speakers to the different classrooms. So we brought in a speaker from Disher today to talk about their leadership
Sure.
program, Lead by Design. And this is the second time that they've come in to speak to that class this year. And each time, even though it was the same content, you just get so many takeaways from the community members, their willingness to participate, their willingness to help these students thrive in this community. And really, the ultimate goal is they want these students to stay here. They want them to work at Disher. They want them to work at Keller
Right.
Williams. So we really need to lean into them and support those teachers because their job is really hard. And then, support those students and getting ready for, I always say real life, but
Yeah.
they're in real
Yeah.
life now. They just
Right,
don't know
right.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. So individuals and businesses contribute to the foundation then
They can,
financially?
businesses, financially, everybody has time, treasure, and talent. So if you have some time that you'd like to give, let's say you want to help with career day, maybe there's a career day, maybe there's somebody talking about in the business class talking about how to buy a house. It might be some teacher might request a realtor or a mortgage company or title company to come in and explain what does it take to buy a house? What do you need to
Okay.
have financially? What do you need to be looking at? What kind of job do you need to have? Does it need to be stable? Can you be a gig employee? All sorts of different things. And that's just me on the fly thinking about what they could talk about.
Sure.
But yeah, we've had people from chiropractors to yesterday we had somebody from Ottawa County Parks and Rec come in and talk about winter survival.
Mm.
So
That's appropriate right now.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's been a really wonderful thing that we've been able to provide the district with. Not just for me, because I'm learning so much about how to build a fire to how to be a good leader. Just bringing those experiences to the kids has been really great.
Why the passion behind that for you?
So a little bit about my background, Phil. My undergraduate degree is in education. I love kids. I love watching them grow. I love watching them do things. But what I found out very quickly is that I do not love 20 to 30 kids all day, every day in a
Sure.
classroom.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really does take a special person to be able to manage a classroom, manage the parents of the classroom, and all of the other things that are going on. And I always say, these the teachers, whether they're teaching from the early childhood center to the high school, it is fire after fire that they're constantly putting out. And I'm sure we were just joking about this, that after 6 snow days in a row here in West Michigan, I bet most parents, I know because I saw parents dropping off in just sigh of relief. Yes, my 2 kids are out of the house.
Yeah.
I was one of those parents. Even though I love my kids, they're great.
Right.
But I was happy to send them back to school. So it's one of those this was a really big appreciation week for those teachers. We appreciate what they do.
Right.
And I'm
for
happy
sure.
that with the Education Foundation, I'm able to support them. But yeah, so I have my bachelor's degree in education, realized that teaching I was not built for that. So I went back and got my master's degree in geography, worked in government and private sector for a few years, was married, had children, came back to West Michigan because this is the best place to live, and started appraising. So I was able to use my background in geography and analytical skills to start the appraisal business. And yeah, like I said, been doing that for over 10 years since we moved back to Holland.
Yeah. Wow. That's great. So you said Holland is great. Tell me why.
Holland is great for so many reasons. Where should I start? The lake, the beach, ice, the snow, the people, the heated sidewalks. It's fun. The pace of life. is wonderful. My husband and I, when we were first married, were in Detroit, and it took us probably 6 months to just calm down, slow down, calm down. And I'm not exaggerating. It is just, you can exhale here, and it feels good. Feels good to
Oh,
be
yeah.
in Holland. When we're
Yeah.
talking about the people, now that I've started really networking and getting to know a lot of businesses and organizations in the area, and then I go back to talking to people who don't live here and tell them what's going on in Holland, the support that we've received through the Zeeland Education Foundation and Sleep in Heavenly Peace that we haven't touched on yet. But it's everyone says it's a unicorn. Like, I
Mhm.
live in a fairyland, and I
Yeah.
think they're right. I don't think that most places are as wonderful as Holland in terms of support and community. And it's been a great place to live for the last, let's see, 11 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Have you had a chance to get to the new ice park yet?
I have not, I have been to the ice park and I sat around the fire.
Yeah. Okay.
I have not ice skated,
Yeah.
which is fine. Nobody needs to
Yeah.
see that. And
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
not tried curling,
Okay.
which, funny story, when the Olympics were in Salt Lake City, was that like 20 years ago? A friend of mine from Hastings, I grew up in Hastings, we decided, yeah, we were young, let's go road trip. We'll go check out the Olympics. As we were enjoying a pizza and a beverage, we look over and the USA curling team was there.
Oh, wow.
And so we enjoyed our pizza and beverages with the curling team, the
Oh,
USA
great.
curling team. And then a few days later went and watched them. So ever since then, I've been a nerd about curling.
Yeah.
I have yet to try it. So I'm excited to, when it warms up a little bit and not
Yeah.
too freezing,
Sure.
that is my goal, is to get on
Yeah.
that curling sheet.
We went there, my wife and I, and two other couples. And the curling team has no competition. They're not recruiting us to be on the team. I can tell you that.
It's crazy because the stones, they're so big and so heavy. I don't,
Yeah.
yeah, it's, the whole thing is just crazy to me. And then
Yeah.
you gotta, like, I don't know how they're doing it here in Holland, but like the sweeping and like how
Oh,
they
yeah.
can direct those
Yeah.
whatever stones, I think that's what they call them, around like the other stones on the sheet.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then just
It's,
not only that, just trying to get up from like the squat to standing on
yeah.
the ice.
Yeah.
Like 20
It
years
quickly
ago, it wasn't
turned
that big of
into,
a deal, but now it's like,
exactly.
hey, it's
Yeah.
a little
It turned
harder.
into shuffleboard for us because we couldn't get up and down. Yeah.
That's funny.
You and I met, oh, I don't know how long ago it was, a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was. And we met around the nonprofit Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And that's near and dear to my heart. Maybe you could spend some time telling us more about that and the impact that Sleep in Heavenly Peace has in our community.
Yeah. Sleep in Heavenly Peace has been a catalyst for a lot of things for me, and I appreciate and love the organization. And I was thinking about this before we started today. I think we met because I think I did an appraisal for one of your clients, or for the bank for your client in Holland. And maybe I had a question about the 17 barns on the property or something. And then maybe that's how we started talking. I don't really remember how it came about. And I was racking my brain. And that was the only thing that I could think, is because what happens is I'm do one thing, appraisals or something, and then kind of slip in, oh, yeah, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, or yeah, the Zeeland Education Foundation. And I
Yeah.
just love telling the story of all of the things that I'm doing or trying to get involved in or want to get involved in or thinking about getting involved in, that I just get going and
Yeah.
talking. So I don't know
Yeah.
if that's how it
I
came
don't remember
about.
the exact connection, but I know that my wife and I met you at Barman's for a
Yeah.
cup of coffee and a blueberry donut. That's about as much as I
Yeah. I
remember
mean,
from
and it
that.
doesn't,
Yeah.
honestly, doesn't get better than that. So it could have
Right.
been about anything and we would have been happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Bowerman's is great. But Yeah, so Sleep in Heavenly Peace, I'll tell you how I got into this and then more about the organization. So, as an appraiser during COVID, we were able to go into homes and continue our jobs. I would go to a house, and what wasn't typical was that the kids are typically not home because they're at school. While during COVID, everybody was home. So, I would go to a house and I would say, okay, just notice like, oh, they've got 3 kids here. They're all doing their schoolwork on their laptops. And then as an appraiser, you have to go in and take pictures of every room and take notes about the house that
Sure.
you're visiting.
Yep.
So I would see this and say, okay, there are 3 kids. Here's bedroom 1. This is for mom and dad. Bedroom 2, a 2-bedroom house. Okay, this is the kids' room. There's only one full-size bed in this entire room. Where are the other kids sleeping? And then you go back down to the living room and you notice the blankets and the pillows. And then you go to the next house and it's dad and boy, very like limited furniture, and find out that dad and son are sharing a futon at night. And then you go to the next one and you see an air mattress in the kids' room, and there are 3 kids on one air mattress. And then the straw that broke the camel's back was I went to this house and there were 4 little kids, and this girl was so cute. She's on her little Dora table doing her kindergarten work. And I go into their bedroom and there were piles of clothes in each corner of the room with a sheet. And I realized by looking down there that that is where these kids are sleeping. So they've got their piles of clothes and this sheet. And it was December and it was cold. And I got in my car and I usually cry. So if I start crying, I'm really in a good mood. It just comes up. I would try to keep it together. It just broke my heart. I called my husband and I was like, I am bringing these kids mattresses. I'm going to stop at wherever. I'm going to get 4 toddler mattresses. They were little kids. And just leave them at the door. I can't see this again and not do something about it. So he's like, we don't know their situation. Let's pull back from this, take a deep breath. And so on my way home, I am crying. I am talking to him while Googling how to get kids to bed. So when I Google how to get kids to bed, this organization pops up, Sleep in Heavenly Peace. I had never heard of it. And honestly, Phil, I had never thought I knew that kids come from different situations. It never occurred to me that a kid or a person wouldn't have a bed who was living at a home. It just didn't occur to me. But then I kept seeing it over and over again. So I was like, well, you know me now, but I am not the type of person who can not do something about something that I see.
Right.
I am a doer and I like to get things done. So that night we looked into Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Mike Rowe had done a show on Facebook that highlighted Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And that was back in 2021 when we started our chapter. So that night, my husband and I are like, all right, we got to do this. Like, one, because I know having kids, having been in a classroom as a teacher, you can tell when kids come in tired. You can tell that they're not learning. Their focus is not on what they're supposed to be focused on, whether they're tired or hungry or cold. There are so many reasons why, but sleep and not having a safe place to sleep should not be one of those reasons. Like, you should have a safe place to sleep and grow.
For sure.
That's basic necessity. So, okay, we need to do that. And then, so we started this chapter. We did the training. And ever since then, we've been delivering beds to kids in the area who don't have one. And really, that is what I love about Sleep in Heavenly Peace, is that our mission is that no kid sleeps on the floor in our town, and our town is your town. So when we started, I think there were 89 chapters across the US and maybe one in Canada. And now they just did a training and I think they're over 350.
Oh, wow.
So
Fantastic.
it has continued to grow. It is a very efficient model. I'm a volunteer chapter president. Everybody who does work with our chapter is they're volunteers. So, the donations that come in are not paying a fee for me to do outreach or
Sure.
marketing or any of that. It's just everybody just wants to help.
Yeah.
Whether it nationally or now internationally. It's just, people are realizing like, man, never thought that would be a problem.
I remember talking to, at that time, my 93-year-old father about this, and he was absolutely blown away that there were kids in our community that had a house but didn't have a bed.
Yeah.
And he said, that's impossible. That can't happen in our community. And I'm like, it's happening, Dad. And this is what we need to do.
Yeah, it is happening. It is happening more than I had ever imagined. Like we started this and we're like, all right, well, if we can get 25 kids off the floor a year, that'd be great. Like that's a great goal. We don't need to kill ourselves over it. Like this will be fantastic. We're over 150 a year at least.
Wow.
Some years are more than others depending on all of the situations that are going on. But, we've delivered almost 700 beds.
Wow.
And and the applications don't really stop. Like, okay, we have our list manageable now. Let's restock our supply, get all the beds built, get the mattresses. Yeah. And then by the time that happens, we got another 50 kids on the list. So it's like, it's a never ending flow of applications. And
it's the good news, bad news, right? I mean, you keep getting applications that you're filling and doing the best you can. So, I mean, that's great. But the bad news is you keep getting the applications.
Right. Yep. I know. And I think for me, it's great because when we started this, I could have taken one of two routes. I could have gone, all right, I got to raise funds. I got to get financially sound before we start this. Or the route that I ended up taking, which I'm glad, is I don't want to start this and go crazy if there's not really a need in Holland. I don't really know. So my outreach was to the schools, was to Health and Human Services, to all sorts of different organizations within the Holland area, asking whether or not this was a need. And resounding yes from every single person that I spoke to. They're like, yes, we need this in Holland. We need this. Our chapter goes down to Pullman and up to West Olive and then kind of over to Hudsonville and down. We follow that highway corridor there to the west. And everybody's like, yes, we have kids in school who don't have beds we know of. We have kids who are just coming out of homelessness that need furniture. It is a good and bad problem.
Before we continue, I'd like to give a big shout out to our amazing sponsors for making this podcast possible. Lighthouse Title, Independent Bank, Josh DeVries Mortgage Lender, Cooper Insurance, Jose Morales, in partnership with Fremont Mutual Insurance. Thank you for your support. Check out their info in the description below. Let's dive back in.
So along those lines, if somebody is listening to this podcast, or the one person that's subscribed, I'm kidding, if they wanted or knew someone that needed a bed, how would they apply? And then also, if there's someone else out there that said, this is really tugging at my heart, I don't have any talent, but I have some money, how could they help?
There are two questions with one answer. shpbeds.org is the place for everything. So you can submit a bed application there, and you can make donations there. Or you could find our chapter in Holland and reach out that way to me. It'll have all of the chapters listed. So even if you have a subscriber in Nebraska, if they want to be involved in the chapter in Nebraska, they can find a chapter that's closest to them and do that outreach. So the qualifications the qualifications for the bed request is that we only deliver twin size beds to children who are between the ages of 3 and 17. The application does not ask for income. It does not ask for race or background, nationality, nothing like that. It wants to know how old your kid is to make sure that they qualify for the age range, and really what your address is. So if you are within a delivery area, everything is based on zip code. You will be put on the list for a bed. Then one of our volunteers will call you. We'll make sure we have the correct address, make sure we have the correct information, and then we'll schedule the deliveries. I mean, it's really that easy to get a bed. Sometimes there is a wait because it's not necessarily first in, first out. We have a delivery team going out on Wednesday and you're not available Wednesday. We're going to go to the next person. So it just it's one of those situations. Or maybe you've applied for a bed, but you've since lost housing. You're waiting for your next apartment to become available. So we work with the households to figure out when to get those. So we've had really good luck getting into the homes pretty quickly, as long as we have inventory and teams to go out and deliver.
Sure. What's surprised you the most about Sleep in Heavenly Peace's mission and work in the community?
It shouldn't have surprised me because I never thought of it. Almost everyone that I speak to, unless you're in that nonprofit world of helping people in situations, everybody else is like, really? Kids don't have beds? And then my experience is, we tell the story. And then I haven't met somebody who's like, everybody wants to help. So whether it's time, talent, or treasure, they want to help. Your family, Phil, was one of our first private builds where we went to a parking lot in Holland and we built beds. And actually, I think you built and delivered the beds that you built that day.
It was fun.
Literally across the street. And that was fantastic. So it's really about just making people aware of the situation that's happening in the community. Hey, there are kids who are at ZPS who might be coming in tired because they're sharing a air mattress with their mom.
Yeah, if that.
And I know as a mother, if I had to share a bed or an air mattress or anything with my child at night, not only are they not getting a good rest, I'm not getting a good rest. And if I don't have good rest, I'm a hot mess.
Yeah.
So I can't have expectations for people to be, you got to be on, you got to be happy, you've got to be supportive and successful. If you don't have the tools to do that, which for me is a good night's sleep, we can't have these expectations of these students and or their families and honestly, it's amazing to me how resilient people can be to get to work on time. How did they do it?
Yeah.
When they haven't had more than 2 hours of sleep because their 9-year-old daughter is kicking them in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So
what is your biggest need right now?
Oh, for Sleep in Heavenly Peace or in general?
Yeah. Speaking of rest,
For Sleep in Heavenly Peace, really it is getting these beds. It's hard in the winter because we don't really do bed builds in the winter. We have a few coming up that are starting to be scheduled for the spring and summer. But it's getting those volunteers to deliver the beds. Because you have to train the volunteers. Like, you've been trained, you can lead a team, Phil, but happy to get those scheduled for you and then get them out. So biggest need is finding volunteers to deliver, and then really the volunteer time in general. So when we are able to have a bed build, to make sure that we have the people there, because really the bed builds are very efficient, and
They are.
you can attest to that. It's like a well-oiled machine.
It
The
is.
people who organized this and started Sleep in Heavenly Peace have really thought of, okay, we have this process. Everybody across the nation is going to do the same process. All of the beds will look the same, and it goes really, really well. And I think most people are surprised by that the first time they volunteer. And they're like, oh, this was easy. It was 2 hours.
Yeah.
We built 60 beds in 2 hours. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So if
it
someone
really
wanted
is right now
to,
is volunteer time and probably bedding.
okay.
Because
So
yeah.
if I wanted to volunteer, or if I wanted to volunteer build, or if I wanted to volunteer deliver and set up, I could outreach to you on your website to do that.
Yep. So there are a couple different places. We have shpbeds.org is probably the easiest. That goes directly to our email box. And then the other way really is Facebook. We have a Holland Facebook site. I think it's called a site, but you can reach us through also.
Sure. Okay. So I know last year, I want to say it was, I might have the wrong company, but like Hayworth opened up
Mm-hmm.
and said, let's build a bunch of beds.
Yeah.
Do you have something like that going on again for this year?
Yep. So we have a couple of builds we've done. So there are different types of builds. One is a private build where a family, a specific church group, a company will want to sponsor and have the people from that organization come and help build the beds. They're also sponsoring in terms of cost materials for that build, but it's only open to that group of people. So yes, Hayworth has sponsored a build the last couple of years, and it's been phenomenal. Built, I think last year we did 80 beds with Hayworth. And the year before that was like 50, something like that.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then we had the Zeeland West Athletic
Yes.
Department.
Yes.
They've done, last year they did 2 builds. This year we're going to do one in the spring. So we get those junior and senior athletes out and really help support the community, which has been a great connection. And then, so we have sponsored builds, and then we have community builds. And the community builds are, we take some of the funds that have come in throughout the year, and we do a build that's open to anybody who would like to register can come. It doesn't have to be, it might be held at a church parking lot, but you don't have to be a member of that church to help build. Or it might be in, wherever we may land. Our build is mobile, so we bring the tools, we bring the materials, or we have the materials delivered, and then we set up the assembly lines and we just go to town.
Yeah. I remember the hottest day of the year. We were at St. Peter's
Yes.
in the parking lot making beds. Oh my. That was something.
Well, and I think you earned a red shirt from that one, Phil.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough because we're with our chapter here in Holland doing a winter build. You want to know what the real biggest need is a facility. Some chapters have warehouses or pole barns that people have donated or give them a really good rate on. And then we would leave the assembly line set up there. So then people would just come to do that, to do the builds in the same location time after time,
that's awesome.
which would be honestly a dream.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we can make that happen.
Maybe you can make that happen. I mean, I feel like a lot of real estate around the area and maybe are connected with some people, Phil.
Maybe a little
who
bit.
might need a barn, might need somebody to fill their barn or warehouse.
Yeah.
If you really want to know, that would be a dream. But keeping it real, betting.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, as we kind of wrap up here, Lisa, is there anything more that we need to know about Sleep in Heavenly Peace that you haven't explained to us already, or anything else that you could think of? I don't want to miss anything.
No, I mean, it's just been a blessing for me to be able to meet and network with the people around Holland who have been wonderfully supportive of our mission. I met with somebody from the Lakeshore Nonprofit Alliance, and he was saying that there are over 2,000 nonprofits in Ottawa County alone.
Oh, wow.
So people want to help, and people want to help, whether it's, he said there was a ferret therapy, or you can go and play with ferrets for therapy,
Oh, my gosh.
to Sleep in Heavenly Peace, to the Zeeland Education Foundation. Pick your path.
Yeah.
Where do you want to help? How do you want to help? Is it mental health? Is it education? Is it wellness? You can find somebody in Holland to help. And that's what's been really great. And from that, what I've learned is networking with those people. We all want to help each other. So you might be in the mental health space. Sleep might be a benefit to one of your clients, and they might not have a bed. So let's make those connections. So really, it's
Absolutely.
making the connections that's been wonderful. And it has led me to really, I feel like one of the best gigs around. Don't tell anybody because I don't want them to take it away. But I love what I'm doing right now with the Education Foundation and with the Sleep in Heavenly Peace. If it weren't for Sleep in the Heavenly Peace, I wouldn't be here. It has been a really good, fantastic catalyst, and I'm glad that I'm able to support both because I really do love children. I just don't want them around me.
Just not 30 at a time. Yeah, I
not
get it.
30 at a time.
Yeah.
Honestly, even after the snow days, I didn't want 2 at a time. I was good. At this whole break.
I've heard that a lot.
But I always joke that the children are the ones who will be taking care of us in the future. So really, we don't want a bunch of duds.
No,
Let's take
that's right.
Let's get them well rested, well fed, and let's put some brains behind those bodies.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I need somebody who's gonna deal with me when I'm 9.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining Keys to the Community. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to volunteering again at Sleep in Heavenly Peace, as does our family.
Great.
And we look forward to that. And yeah, maybe we can have coffee at Barman's again sometime.
Yeah, anytime, Phil. We've been blessed to have you in our Sleep in Heavenly Peace family now. And again, I just appreciate the opportunity to explain to people what's going on in the area in Holland, why it's really is the best place to live, and yeah, happy to help.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Yep, you're welcome. Thanks, Bill.
All right. Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Keys to the Community. Make sure you subscribe and stay connected to what's happening across West Michigan. And if real estate is on your mind, reach out. I'd love to help.